Hello, good morning students, and welcome back to our channel where we have our English classes. My name is Teacher Fernanda and I'm very grateful and very happy to be here with you today in another class that we're going to check out. Today we have science class and our principal topic will be the ocean's temperature and depth. Alright? We're going to check this topic as well as some other topics that are related to this main one. First of all, I'm going to thank God. I want to thank God that we're here today again in another class. I hope you're doing fine. I hope your family is all alright. I hope that you're at home safe and sound. And I hope that you're taking care of you and taking care of your family. So let's check out what we have today in our science class. Temperature. Okay, our first concept here is the concept of temperature. We're talking about the temperature in the ocean or in the water of the ocean, of course. We have here a fact. The broad surface of the ocean absorbs energy from the sun. This means that when the sun hits directly to the surface of the ocean, it hits the water, so the water becomes hotter. Yes? As in land, temperatures in the ocean vary depending on the location and the seasons of the year. Alright? It means that in the seasons of the year we're talking about, if it's winter, the water of the ocean will be colder. But if it's summer, the water of the ocean will be hotter. It depends on the weather of the season we are talking about in these cases. For example, in summer the temperature is hotter, so the water will be hotter. And if in winter the temperature is the weather is colder, so the water is going to be colder. Here we have more facts about temperature. Near the equator, the ocean surface reaches about 25 Celsius degrees. Okay, so this is more or less the room temperature, a regular temperature. It's not very hot, but it isn't very cold, so it is a regular one. The temperature drops when you travel away from the equator. Okay, so here we have, let me show you. Here we have a line that divides the planet in two. Yes, we have the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. So here we have the equator in the middle. So the temperature will be colder when we go far from the equator. When we become closer to the equator, the water will be hotter. For example, if we are here in Central America, the water will be hotter rather than the one that is here in Greenland. So that is how the temperature is going to change depending on location. Yes? Warm water forms a thin layer on the ocean surface. So it isn't very thick. The hot water in the ocean, it isn't very thick. It is a thin layer in the surface. So the rest of the water that is in the ocean, it's colder than the surface of the water. We're going to check that in a moment. Here we have warm water is less dense than cold water, so it doesn't sink. So the warm water, as here we have in the previous statement, it's in the surface of the water, okay, of the ocean. So this warm water is at the surface and then the cold water is down. Why? Because the warm water is less dense, so it doesn't sink. It stays in the top of the surface. Then the cold water goes down because it is more dense than the warm water, so it goes down. It sinks. Yes? We have another concept that is very interesting and it's very related to the one that we checked previously. It's important to know there are 3 temperature zones of water that are called water columns of deepness. So we're going to check that scheme in a minute. Here we have, sorry to say, an example of these three levels of the ocean. Here we have sunlight, twilight, and midnight zone. Yes, they depend on the deepness of the water level in the ocean. As you descend through the ocean, the water's temperature decreases. So as we said before, in the surface it is warmer, and then when we go down and down, the water will be colder. Here we have deepness zones. So here we have an explanation of these three deepness zones that we checked in the previous slide. We have zone number 1, that is the surface zone. Its characteristics are, it is the warmest zone, yes, because it is in the surface. It typically extends from the surface of the water of the ocean to between 100 and 500 meters deep. The average temperature here is of 16 to 25 degrees, more or less. Then we have zone number 2, transition zone. The transition zone extends from the bottom of the surface to about 1 kilometer below that. So when the surface zone ends, starts the transition zone, and it goes way down to 1 kilometer approximately. Temperatures here drop quickly to about 4 Celsius degrees. In this area, it becomes a little bit colder. Well, it becomes colder. Then we have the deep zone. The deep zone is below the transition zone. So where the transition zone ends, then we start with the deep zone. Its average temperature is of about 3.5 Celsius degrees. So here it's way colder than it was in the surface zone. So these are the three characteristics of these zones, talking about temperature and deepness. Yes, because these two concepts are pretty much related. Here we have these deepness zones. This is the deepness zone column. So here we have, sorry to say, the first zone, that it was the surface zone. Yes, this is the depth, 0.5 kilometers, which is 500 meters. Then we have the rest of the column of the deepness zone, which is the transition zone. Here we have the transition zone, and here we have the deep zone. Yes, starting from here, so to say. Okay, and we have here a legend that says pressure with depth. So here we're going to see the relation of pressure with deepness. Alright, so let's check out that concept too. Here we have pressure, the concept of pressure. In the ocean, pressure increases by 1 bar. The air pressure at sea level. Okay, so the air pressure at sea level is measured with units that we're going to call bars. So in the ocean, these levels of pressure, they increase by 1 bar with each 10 meters of depth. So each 10 meters we have 1 more bar. Let's say in the first 10 meters we have 1 bar. In the next 10 meters, it's 20 meters, we have 2 bars, and consequently like that. Due to high pressure in the deep ocean, divers can only go down to 40 meters without specialized equipment. Okay, so remember that when the pressure is higher, your body doesn't function the way that it does when it is in the regular pressure conditions that we have here on Earth. So when the pressure becomes higher, your body will have an exertion that will not let it continue living the way we are living here on Earth. So when we go down and down and down to ocean, we expose our body to more and more pressure that will shut down our systems, and it will be a failure to our life. We will fail in our mission to go down and down in the ocean without specialized equipment. To observe the deep sea, scientists elaborate vehicles and submersibles. Okay, they're called water vehicles, resistant to pressure. water pressure, we have here a note in this side. The water pressure, the force exerted by the height of water, the weight of water also changes with depth. So obviously when we go down and down, when we go deeper, the water pressure will be higher, as we said previously. Yes, so I think this point is pretty clear, the one about the deep sea. Scientists elaborate submersibles, water vehicles to resist pressure. Yes, because us as humans, as I said, without special equipment, we can go very, very down. So that is why we invent machines to transport us to down and down in the water. Let's check some examples of these. Okay, so here we have some examples of some equipment for going down into the ocean. Here we have a specialized diving suit. And we have a submersible vehicle. So here the specialized diving suit will keep our organs and our systems functioning correctly, while it has a tank of oxygen, and it protects the body to the conditions of the water pressure, so we can dive safely. And then we have a submersive vehicle. This vehicle obviously is going to be safer for you to go down into the ocean, as you don't have direct contact with the ocean water. So students, now we're going to talk about a very interesting, amazing, and mysterious topic all at once, which is Marianas Trench. It is related to the ocean, of course. Mariana Trench, also called Marianas Trench, which is a deep-sea trench in the floor of the western North Pacific Ocean, is the deepest point known on Earth, located mostly east as well as south of the Mariana Islands. It reaches about 11,034 kilometers deep and was first explored by Swiss ocean engineer Jacques Piccard and naval U.S. officer John Walsh, reaching 10,916 meters. Okay, so here we have a little piece of information of what is Marianas Trench, where is it located, who explored it first, and until this point, we know that which is its deepness, which is 11,034 kilometers, that we know until now. On March 26, 2012, Canadian filmmaker James Cameron piloted submersible deep-sea Challenger down to 19,898 meters, accomplishing a record for the deepest solo descent. So, filmmaker James Cameron got the record of the deepest solo descent on 2012 in his Deep-Sea Challenger mission, which went down to 19,898 meters, which is a very deep distance from the surface of the Earth. Here we have a picture of the Marianas Trench location, which is here in the Pacific Ocean near Asia, between Asia and Australia. And here we have a picture of John Walsh, which is here, and Jacques Piccard here. They were the first people to explore the deep sea, the Marianas Trench. So that was all for today. I hope that you will enjoy the class. As we know, the ocean is a very important part of our world, and it's pretty important to know its features, its characteristics, and how we can learn more about it. It's investigating and researching about its properties. With this information that I brought you about the Marianas Trench, it's an important part of our ocean, and a way as we can get to know it for us to get a better picture of what we have here on Earth. We don't know how deep is Marianas Trench, but it will remain a mystery until us as humans get a way to go deeper and deeper into the abyss of the ocean. So I hope you like this class. I hope that you learned something very interesting for you, and we'll see you later. Thanks for your attention and have a very nice and beautiful day.